Ooh, so spooky. What is this, some kind of crappy warpstone meteor? Welcome to the battlefields of Total War Warhammer. HeirofCarthage here, where what the crap's going on. I'm gonna be leading you all through another battle. We got the Demigryph Knights with halberds on either flank here for the Empire, being led by none other than Volkmar the Pimp. I mean, Volkmar the Grim. Yes, so he's got his Pimp wagon here, all set to go. And the Empire army is rather interesting. They're facing off against the Elves. Up front, they've got Flagellants, Sons of Sigmar. Behind, two halberdiers. And there are two Knights of the Blazing Sun, which you don't see a ton of. Huge charge damage off these guys. They also do flaming damage, which can be quite good against forest spirit units, or whatever they're called, like the treekin, and dryads and other stuff like that. And yeah, anyway, oh, there's a normal Demigryph Knight over here. So there's one standard Demigryph, one with halberds. So my bad. So the Wood Elf army, what do we got? They've got some Eternal Guard mixed with Dryads up front. Now Dryads, probably not a bad choice versus an Empire army that you would expect is probably not going to be bringing great swords. Because what would be the point of great swords versus Wood Elves? So I don't think Dryads are an awful choice per se. I'm not really completely sure what Dryads are good for. But I don't think they're any good whatsoever against unarmored units. So in that sense, I would say that this might make sense. There are a couple of Deepwood Scouts, several Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. There's a couple of War Dancers with the Azray Spear, a Wild Rider, a Branch Wraith, and there is a Glady. And she is on foot amidst her troops. And it looks like some Hagbane tips mixed in with the Starfire Shafts. So in case you can see, the Empire army is going to approach. The Starfire Shafts will actually be pretty effective versus cavalry if they get to fire for long enough. But these Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to do immense damage to most of the Wood Elf units. We're going to watch Volkmar and his Pimp wagon just charge right through the Dryads and on in here. He's fairly tanky unit and can get some work done in the right scenarios. There's the Knights of the Blazing Sun. And the Wild Riders are going to try and come in to pin these guys down. The Eternal Guard, and you'd think even more Eternal Guard would be coming in here to try and go after the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Halberds are going to join that fight. Volkmar pulls away momentarily. Just watch this. This is going to be a slaughter of Dryads. Yeah. That's a little deforestation right there if you're looking for a lame joke. And then check out this Lore of Shadows. Woo, that's ugly. Actually, it's kind of beautiful. Look at that ball of elves. So, nice Pit of Shades there. Got some work done for the Grey Wizard, which you don't see a lot of. The Demigryph Knights getting the charge in here on the Eternal Guard, and these guys are braced, so it's probably not going to do a ton. And here you can see the Knights of the Blazing Sun held down by the prey of Anathrema, which is definitely a concern. Volkmar's already racked up 27 kills. He causes fear and terror too, so he could actually be a pretty useful unit here if he gets into the back of these elf units. See the leadership drop on these? Look at Volkmar go. Just plowing all over these squishy elf units here. And he's buffing units. Look at this. This is actually like one of the first times I've seen someone kind of micro Volkmar through these units that just don't have the ability to... There's nothing here from the elves that has mass to stop Volkmar, because they've lost their cavalry. Look at this Demigryph Knight rear charge. 50 kills on the Knights of the Blazing Sun over there. Demigryph Knights here with 28 kills. This Knights of the Blazing Sun got away with 41 kills. The Flagellants, yeah, doing okay. Sigmar's Sons doing pretty good. Volkmar's racked up 50 kills now, and he's not stopping anytime soon. You can see that, again, none of the elf units actually have the mass to stop him now. He's taking fire from multiple ranged units, but he's also moving around on multiple ranged units. Let's see if this is banishment. Please. Oh no, it's another Pit of Shades. It's a pretty good one. I was hoping maybe Volkmar had the banishment spell on his abilities, which would have been pretty cool looking also. That's going to be a pretty deadly Pit of Shades. Look at that, 76 kills on the Grey Wizard and 61 on Volkmar. So talk about a nice use of units that you would not see very often on the battlefield. I really like the Grey Wizard. They can do some good stuff. They're not a typical pick that you'd see in multiplayer. And Volkmar, I used him the other day in my not-so-legendary Lords. battles, but I mean, he really isn't that bad if you know how to use him. He can be used in multiplayer. He's not one of the best, but he's definitely viable in certain scenarios. These Demigryph Knights with halberds are going to be great support here. Get a good charge against the Eternal Guard. Volkmar appears to still be moving, even though he's got the Prey of Enethrema on him. And there's Knights of the Blazing Sun to support here. The Elves are taking an absolute shellacking from Volkmar, his Pimp Wagon, the Grey Wizard. The cavalry and stuff actually look to be the threatening pieces in the beginning of this battle, but really it's Volkmar and the Grey Wizard who have turned out to be quite dangerous. There's the Demigryph Knights. I was trying to find the Grey Wizard, see if he's still around. Yeah, here he is. Looks a lot like Gandalf the Grey. Let's see, so Volkmar's wagon has racked up 84 kills, and he's going to go for the archers. It's a good choice. He may have missile resistance. I think he may. Yeah, he's got 15% missile resistance, and then there's a 25% magic resistance, and Starfire Shafts are a magical damage. So he's got considerable resistance against the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. So it's a pretty cool choice. Many elves do have magical attacks, so interesting choice to go with Volkmar here, and I actually kind of like it. Look at his bombardments just rolling around like these guys. Like, this is one of the reasons why I love Warhammer. I see comments from time to time, and people are like, stupid fantasy crap. It's not near as good as the historical things. Hey, I mean, I love a good historical thing, but how are you not entertained by this? Really? What's wrong with you guys? Seriously. If you're not entertained by this, then I feel a little bit sorry for you, because it is entertaining. It's very entertaining. So does that mean I don't like my historical Total War? Absolutely not. I love historical Total Wars. But this is fun, people. This is fun. And if you're one of those people who's sitting back saying to yourself, I wish you'd just do more historical Total War, and you haven't played this game, go play it. It's worth it. No, this is not a paid advertisement by the Creative Assembly. This is just my opinion. So Sigmar's Sons and the Halberds did good. I'm loving this though. Volkmar's about to, yeah, he just pimped out over 100 kills. Let's see, the Branch Wraith here. Where did the Wizard go? Yeah, 94 kills on the Wizard. That is not bad at all. Getting 94 kills off your Wizard is a worthy cause. And now, look at him, he's in here fighting the Glady. This Wizard is fearless. I don't know if it's a good idea for him to be fighting her alone, but you would think that Volkmar might have an interest in this, but he's off elsewhere. Check it out. Gets all the kills, and then the Grey Wizard just sits there and starts trading blows with the Glady, and he's actually doing pretty good. Routzer, in fact. Talk about MVP. What is that, Gandalf's cousin? Most likely. And how can you not like Volkmar here? Look at that. This is a guy who knows what he wants in life, and it's a pimped out wagon dedicated to Sigmar. So what else do you need anyway? Let's end the replay and take a look at the kills off of this one. Ended up getting decent kills here from this Knights of the Blazing Sun and picked up a Chevron, but Volkmar there, 119. Talk about a boss. And then 2 Chevrons and 146 kills on the Demigryph Knight with Halberds. This was a fun army. It was very different. And I like the way it played out against this elf army. And honestly, the elf army was a little bit different too. And in some ways, I'm kind of okay with the pick, right? So the War Dancers give you a lot of protection against cavalry in the sense that they're armor piercing, they're very fast, anti-large. And the Deepwood Scouts with all the archers gave them significant skirmishing power, but in the end, there was just so much cavalry. And I think that was the play from the Empire here, right? Just overwhelm the elves with cavalry power. And then, but even though he had the cavalry power, I like how the player here, Giddy Boy, managed to keep his focus on Volkmar and just had him moving around everywhere. And then there was the really nice spell casting from the Grey Wizard, so I thought it was really a fun game. Look at that, though, the Branch Wraith racking up 82 kills. Maybe he got off some of those Pit of Shades. I don't remember, but that's a lot of kills for Branch Wraith. He had to have gotten a Pit of Shades in there somewhere, or a Pendulum or something, I think, to get that, and I probably missed it. I miss a lot of things in the battles, but yeah, hope you all enjoyed this one. We'll just take a quick look over here at something. I want to go into custom battles. I wanted to look at all of Volkmar's abilities just to kind of remind myself. When he's on the War Altar of Sigmar here, yeah, this Banishment Vortex is another thing you can get. I don't know how great the Banishment is, but it's fun. and it causes, it causes magical damage. It can be a fun one to use against vampires where you think they're going to blob up a lot or something like that. So in that sense, you can use Volkmar to, lure a bunch of units, like a big blob of infantry or something. And it does a pretty interesting job, just to kind of remind people what banishment is. It is under the lore of light, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So banishment right here. Yeah, but it's an ability that Volkmar has, and he can use it. But yeah, banishment's a pretty cool spell. It looks pretty cool too. If it doesn't move off too fast, it can be fairly devastating if you get a hit in the right spot. I really like the way that Vortex spells look. I guess I just get disappointed that sometimes they're kind of weak, but in that case you saw the Pit of Shades was used well, Wind of Death gets used well, and actually the Purple Sun of Zerus is pretty useful now too, and I believe that's a lore of death. Yeah. This one right here is actually pretty good too in the right scenarios. I've seen people put it to good use, even in multiplayer. So there are a few of these spells out there that on the right occasion can be quite devastating. I like to see a little more work. I think that they moved in the right direction when they set the overcasting of Vortex spells to make them move slower. Definitely a move in the right direction. I don't know if it's the final solution I'd want to see, because like here's another cool spell that you just rarely see. In fact, a caster that you rarely see from the Empire, the Lore of Heavens. Maybe I'll have to make it a point like one week to try and use like all the different lores of magic just for fun, just to kind of see where they're at. So Chain Lightning's a super cool spell, but again, moves around like crazy and it makes it difficult to use. Anyway, we'll talk more about some of these lores of magic and the different spells. I figured that'd be something to cover, and I really appreciate the replay being sent in. It was a ton of fun. If you all are wondering why my videos were a little bit slower at the beginning of this week, I had to travel some to go see family, and I'm extremely busy at work this week, so do be patient if the uploads are a little slower this week. Things will get back to normal, but yeah, my day job is incredibly busy at the moment. Well, hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you back in another video soon. I love making this for you, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe so that you can stay in touch with new videos and all the content coming out. Appreciate MSI for sponsoring the build I'm recording with. HeirofCarthage, signing out. I'll see you on the battlefield next time.